Right, Wilson, inside our compact machine, it's big, isn't it? We are now going to start building our amazing mycelial reactor. Yes, that means putting all of these down, wiring them all up, and making sure they get input all the items they need. So there are some that are ready, there are some that are nearly ready, and there are some that are going to be a pain, like Dragon's Breath. So we'll see how far we get. Hopefully, we'll get it all done. Well, Wilson, stage 1 done. We have the machines we knew we could set up easily set up. I've got it laid out so you can see what's going on, right? So I've got cabling underneath on pull mode, okay? And these blocks are actually where the other generators are going to go. Then we've got a laser IO in each on each quadrant. So on each row, you've got laser IO set up because, you know, I might need to pull in lots of things and you don't always have that capacity. And then, yeah, we've got inputs into these generators on the top going in, and I'll show you upstairs in a minute. I don't want to get too close because look, it hurts. See? But you can see our, can I get close enough? This one's got our nether stars in, so that's getting 2 at a time. Got a counting card on this one, look. So it's only ever putting 2 in. This is death, if I can get close enough. And that's getting rotten flesh. This is explosions and it's getting gunpowder. This is getting magma or lava even. This is getting ender pearls. This is getting liquid meat and lead ingots. Because I don't really use lead for anything, I don't think. Right, good, isn't it? Upstairs, we have for each corner or each row, we have a normal interface and a fluid interface. This interface is currently only doing nether stars and they're extracting and going in. This interface, see, I'm getting hurt up here as well, it's silly. This interface has got the ender pearls, gunpowder and rotten flesh in, going to those 3. This has got lava coming into us. Okay, so that's working quite well. And then this has got fluid, liquid meat and lead. All linked up. I've put on extra special armor. It's a bit like you because these really do hurt. Right, next step. The ones that are okay to do but a bit of a process needed. So we've got to do the pink mycelial generator, the frosty and the potions. Pink, we've got to make pink dye, but we can make a lot of it. Frosty, we've got to make ice and we can make a lot of it. And potions, I think potions work with just water bottles. So that's what we're going to do now. Pink, done. Pink, I'm using pink dye. And upstairs, whoop, we have in our export interface, pink dye on a crafting recipe. And the recipe is basically using peonies. And peonies are up here. So basically, the system knows if it needs pink dye and will craft it from peonies and place it in the pink furnace. Okay, next I'm going to tick off slimy and furnace. Slimy and sticks, done. Same setup, we get slime balls and milk in our laser IO, and this one's dealing with sticks. It's all very simple. Why, this setup's really good. The only weird thing is fluid interfaces only deal with one fluid. So I've just put another fluid interface here for the milk. Right, now we are on to Frosty. Frosty done. So we've got ice making machine up here. So we've got a blast chiller just with water making ice. We already have a space for ice in the system. So we are now generating lots of ice. And then similar setup. Interface is exporting ice. And that ice is going into here. Next, potions and water bottles and see if that works. So a little bit more complicated this. I've got to somehow figure out how to get water into bottles from our water source and all of that sort of stuff. Back in a minute. Potions are done and this is cool, right? So we've just got a couple of water bottles looping. So here you can see the water bottle coming in and it is inserting on white, extracting on black. Now up at the top here, so these nodes are linked, right? So that node's linked to that node's linked up here. Up at the top here, we've got our fluid encapsulator with water, okay, coming from the sink. And then the opposite, right? So it's inserting on black and extracting on white. So that bottle, there's 2 bottles in the system and they just loop through the system. That was so easy. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, this one. But we are generating power. Right. Now we're on to slightly more complicated. We need to do food, and for this, I'm going to do bread. And that means a wheat farm. And that means all sorts of shenanigans. So let's have a think about how we can do a wheat farm. Right, Wilson, I've ummed and ahed about this one. Genuinely, not sure what route I was going to take. Could have done a create farm for wheat. Could have done. Could have done some funky thing with, I don't know, another mod. But no. I've been an absolute, utter genius. No surprise. Phytogenic insulator with wheat seeds creates wheat. Right? Now, what we can do in this interface is put in a crafting upgrade and 3 of them and say, let's make bread. And let's make 64 bread. And it makes 64 bread. So culinary wise, we can pop on a node and we're going to say on the down, we are going to insert on, I don't know, yellow. That's kind of bread like, isn't it? We are going to link that node to this guy, and then upstairs in the middle of these two we are going to link that node to this guy, and then we're going to say here, let's actually set it up before we pop it in. On yellow, we are going to filter, not seeds, but bread. And we're going to extract, I don't know, I don't want to extract 1 million all at once, but that's probably enough. And then we will put that in there. Get in the right spot. Boom. And now we should see, whoop, our culinary is making power. Haha! Right. Next, crimed, which is basically nether stuff. Maybe a similar approach. Well, the crimed one was fun. We've got nether wart blocks. And you'll never guess, I'm using a phytogenic insulator to make nether wart. And then nether wart is here, but it's being auto-crafted in this guy. So eventually this will fill up. Might not. And yeah, that's all I've done. Nothing clever really. The phytogenic insulators are the way to go with this. But we seem to be keeping up. So the important thing for me was when this is backstocking, which it's doing here, it's keeping up. As this one did. And as this one did. And as this one did. So these will all eventually backstop. I mean, we've got a massive amount of storage for all of this stuff as well. We'll have millions of nether wart eventually. Yeah. So far, so good. Now, I need to work out how to make the fireworks. So I need a sugarcane farm, which we might do a traditional piston-based sugarcane farm with create, because SNAD is a thing. And then, enchanted book loop. The enchanter might get used. And then it's the last one, which is Dragon's Breath, which I don't want to deal with just yet. Right. Fireworks and enchanted loop. Off we go. Done. Well and truly done. Fireworks. Interesting. Whoop, whoop. So here we are using a pulverizer to create sawdust from our oak logs that we've got bazillions of. That's then pushing into here, and 3 sawdust make 1 paper, which these are cyclic crafting machines. And then we're using laser IO to extract the paper and push into here. It's also getting fed gunpowder, which is coming from our system. See, lots of things going in. So gunpowder and paper come from there, gunpowder from our system, and that is crafting rockets. And rockets are coming out and into our system down here. Actually, they're going into the system. So I'm actually putting them into the system because we can have rockets. Rockets might be useful And we now have 60,000 rockets. And then in here, like we've done with all of them, extracting from here and inserting to there. And the enchanting setup was pretty simple. It doesn't even talk to the system. I've created an enchantment factory from Industrial Foregoing that uses Fluid XP. Got that sorted. Input a book, it creates an enchanted book, output that enchanted book into this thing, and then when this reads out the enchantment, it extracts that book and pushes it back up into the system. So there are 2 books. There'll always be one there and one there unless we're backfilled, which we are. Simple, right? Okay. Last one. Halitosis. Dragon's breath. Right, Wilson, I've been thinking about this. I think the only way at the moment to deal with the dragon's breath problem is to just go and respawn the dragon and fight it. But before we do that, I need to boost myself up. Step 1 in the boost is enchanting my armor. And I've done that, but I'm breaking 3, mending. This has now got vitality on it. Vitality gives me more hearts. Look at that, look. I've got an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hearts. Pretty cool. My boots now have thorns 3 on it, and my leggings that I will wear also have thorns 3. So we'll put them on, and we've got double thorns. So hopefully the dragon will be defeated a bit quicker. And beacons. Thankfully, we've got a gazillion resources, so we can craft up a load of beacons. Already got some here. And we can use emerald blocks. And building beacons is really easy with building gadgets. So this is currently set to a surface 9. And then we change that to 7. And then we change it to 5. And then we change it to 3. And we plop a beacon on the top. Whoop. Look at that. Right, Wilson, we're off to the end. We're going to fight that dragon and try and collect as much of the breath as we can. Just a quick check. Armor. Good. Thorns, gloom, vitality. Jolly good. Weapons. Check. Super bow. Got punch and volley on there now. Super axe and super sword. Good. We've got arrows. We've got bottles. We've got end crystals. We've got the beacon set up. Let's go do this. Okay, he's rather loud. Mission successful! We have Dragon's Breath. We actually have 90 bottles, 91 bottles if you count the one in my hand. And if we look at the usages of it, we can see that we get 600 seconds, so 10 minutes per bottle. And quick maths tell me that's about 15 hours. 15 hours worth of Dragon's Breath. So we're going to need more. But I'm going to get it going. I'm going to get it set up. And we can see how the actual main reactor works. Then we can go about getting more of it. And then we can go about trying to find a way to actually make it so we get an infinite amount of it. All right, let me get this all set up. Well, that's set up and it's generating power. Now, this thing, I'm assuming isn't working because none of these are actually doing anything. So let's pipe out, and I'm not going to use flux networks. I'm going to try and pipe it out through a node thingy. If I connect up ultimate cable doohickey. Okay. What face is this? I'm facing south. Or is that the north face? I think that's the north face. We'll find out in a minute. Why is that important? Well, we are going to place our, in fact, let's come up one that says up, down, north. Ultimate universal cable is connected. That's the right way. Okay, Oh, now they're kicking in. Okay, let's get out of here. You don't have power. So let's make you pull. Getting power, I think. So if I actually, for now, break you. You should see input 10k FE, 10,000 per tick. Okay, there they go. Look, they're off. They're cooking. Look, they're all empty. Let's get our top guy. Oh, yeah, thank you, rockets. Look at that power go! Generating 25 million FE a tick. Oh, now let's go check out. And then if we put you back, 10. That's not what we expect to see. Troubleshooting time. Right, I think I know what the problem is. I think that this guy wants to output 25 million RF a tick, but these cables just cannot handle that, right? They can handle a lot. I mean, you know, a lot. So I'm going to leave this disconnected for now. I'm going to set up a special network just for the mycelial stuff. I've changed it upstairs, right? So up here, I had this connected to a mycelial network. Right, I've got it connected to core now. Then I can set up an input at the reactor, just like this. Okay, I'm going to break my flux point plug. So we've got a new input, and I'm going to create this on the mycelial network, right? Because this is the maximum number of networks you can have. Okay, I want a bypass limit. Okay, don't want any, and this is going to be reactor in. Okay. This has to be the top priority on this network. Okay, so this is a reactor input. Now, that's now drawing that power out. We want to bypass the limit. And it's done. It sucked all the power out. Reconnect you. No, let's just, yeah, let's reconnect you. And this is generating 25 million FE a tick now. Let's go check it out. You're getting 25 million FE a tick. That's mad. Okay, now we're getting 25 million FE a tick. Seems pretty pointless putting that back on, but we might as well. 25 million FE a tick. And we're only using 50 killer FE a tick. Triumphant, I believe, is a good word to use. We are producing so much power. $25 million RF a tick. 143 gajillion FE in this thing, and we're still not even touching the graph. Outputs, nothing. Outputting 30,000 RF a tick, and we can actually output up to 25 million RF a tick. Well, I think that's job well done. We no longer have to worry about power. Doesn't feel like we got much done today, but we did build that entire reactor and kill the dragon and collect all of the dragon's breath, didn't we? So definitely a cup of tea time, and then we are going to work out in the next episode how we can make sure dragon's breath is an infinite resource, really, because that's the only one I think that isn't. So we might run out, but in the next episode we're going to figure out how we can hopefully get loads of it, right? Then we can look at how we can use all of this power. Huh? Yeah? Cool. Right. Cup of tea.